No comment.
No comment?
Ok. Bien, gracias.
Sold to the lady with the bag.
Arratsaldeon, buenas tardes. Os damos la bienvenida a la rueda de prensa de la película Ungrateful, película que compite en la sección oficial de esta 73 edición del Festival de San Sebastián. Para hablarnos de la película tenemos aquí a buena parte de su equipo. Presento, empezando por el extremo, tenemos a Nebojsa Pop-Tasic, que es co-guionista de la película, a los intérpretes Timon Sturbej, Dexter, Franc, Barbora, a Olmo, Omerzu, que es el director también y co-guionista de la película, a los también intérpretes Barbora, Babulova y Antonín, Chmela, al productor Jiri, Konecny, y al director de fotografía, Kryštof Melka. Muchas gracias por estar aquí hoy con nosotros presentando la película. Bueno, yo me gustaría empezar lanzando una primera pregunta, porque también quiero recordar que Olmo Omerzu vuelve al Festival de San Sebastián después de 10 años. Él estuvo en San Sebastián en la sección New Directors con su segunda película, Family Film, y ahora es un placer tenerle de nuevo en la competición oficial con esta película, ¿no? Y bueno, quizá a lo mejor nos podría dar una primera impresión de cómo surge este proyecto. Como Family Film es otra película sobre la familia y sobre las dinámicas familiares y los conflictos que se producen. Y bueno, y además aquella película Family Film que estuvo aquí en San Sebastián también estaba coescrita por Nebojsa, Pop-Tasic, y quizá nos podrían explicar un poquito cómo surge el proyecto.
At the beginning, there were several different ideas because I usually work quite intuitively, like in a first stage of writing when I'm just concentrated about the treatment. And in one moment, I start realizing that all those ideas have something in common, and that this was like the question that I think it's the main one in the film, is like what parents are capable to do if they would like to save their daughter, what are the limits, like how far they can go. And then I actually sent Nebojsa, with whom we were writing together also Family Film, the treatment, and we start talking about it. Yeah.
I can end. It's not a movie about, also a story about how far can parents go, but also how far can children go, because there are no innocent characters in this story. It's a fight, it's a war. Yes, for me it was at first it was interesting to study the problem of anorexia, which is a modern disease of children and so on. But after some time, we just realized, okay, it's some kind of trigger. It's also in this story part of some kind of energy or sinister energy, which goes through the movie. When we wrote it, I didn't know that we made such a sinister movie, because now I saw it for the first time, completely arranged and so on. And it appears to be, in a moment, as a light story, almost comedy and so on, but always with some deep, sinister feeling in behind. So when the movie, when I saw the movie at the end, I was in some way, I had to. My feelings were very dark, very really tragical, because that's some kind of every story we made or movie and so on. It's some more or less some reflection of the world we are living in, and this story is just I mean the principles and system of the game and system of the relations and so on is just reflection on of the world around us, and it's just simply serious game, but it's fake. It's a game made of small lies, small details that lead you, and then you have to play the game all over and all over, all over. And this picture at the end with smiling family, which is falling apart, and so on. So I had very, very heavy feeling at the end, and didn't know that we did such heavy, sinister movie. Thank you.
Yes. Tenemos una pregunta aquí.
Hi, my name is Mario from Mundo Cine. First of all, congratulations for the movie to all of you. I have a question, well, a couple of questions for you, Olmo. First of all, after several films exploring family crisis and adolescence, what new elements or evolution do you feel Ungrateful Beings brings to your filmography? And then my second question is that the film raised tension between truth and deception. What reflection do you hope the actual world, as it is, can take away or learn regarding this ethical question? Yeah, that will be my two questions.
Okay, can we go a bit slowly? Just first question was what new brings to the genre of family relationships? That was the question, or in my filmography?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think the film, it's a bit different than the film I did before. Also, I don't think that I was tackling moral provocations before so much. And also, it's much more things are happening in this film than in my previous films. Also, when we were writing, I kind of didn't want to make any
homage?
Not obstacles, maybe, you know, that I just wanted to be curious. As the viewer, I thought that it's curious in which direction the story could go.
Boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries. And what was the second question, sorry?
It's related with tensions between truth and deception that the film's picture with the character. And what reflection do you think or you hope the actual world, the people that are going to see the movie, can take away or learn from these ethical questions?
You know, I hope that they will be in the same position as I am when I'm watching the film, which is I don't agree with their behavior. I don't agree how they are coping with the situations. But at the same time, I can totally understand despair of parents, and I can totally understand that they are fighting for life of their daughter. And there is some kind of contradictory in me as well, that I'm thinking like, what will happen if I would be in that kind of situation? And I hope that the viewer would have something like similar till the end of the film. But there were several different topics that that we were tackling from the beginning. Like one thing was very fascinating for me was that I realized that actually parents and children are actually never know each other completely. Probably also because some of power dynamics that they have logically in a relationship, or also age gap. but I wanted to form a scene or the idea, which are message sequences where they can, like, for the first time encounter what really their daughter is fighting of, or what are the real problems. And I think also it's interesting that these situations are reflecting their own state, but with this moral provocation of how topic of lie it's evolving through the whole film is that actually in our case lies are solving their situations, the situations that they are in. They're not kind of complicating the things as usually is in films. It's actually they're solving the state that Clara is in, like her health issue. Parents are getting together. Actually, they're really living they're really living in kind of a weird pathological dream that they invented. Everything could work totally without a problem if they wouldn't forget about Theo, the youngest one, who became kind of a glass child in the family. So yeah, I'm not sure if the viewer should have like precise one thing when he will enters from the cinema, because I think I'm doing films and trying kind of be as open as possible that viewer can project his own experience toward watching the film.
Thank you. Tenemos otra pregunta ahí detrás.
Sí, hola. Yo quería saber
Sorry, just a second. I need... Okay.
Hola. Quería saber si entendería también que haya espectadores que no entiendan esa provocación o que no entren en la provocación precisamente por la forma en la que a lo mejor se aborda en algunos momentos de un casi humor negro un tema tan serio como el de la anorexia.
In English, can I get again the translation, like just a short one? I can hear you now, but when the two voices were at the same time, I wasn't totally sure if I get it.
Sí, okay. No, pero en inglés.
Okay, thank you.
Sí, repite en inglés.
And now I don't hear nothing.
Repite la pregunta, por favor, para que él pueda...
Que repita la pregunta, sí, para que él la traduzca.
Sí.
A ver, la pregunta es si él entendería que hay espectadores que no entienden esa provocación que él plantea precisamente por tratarse de un tema tan serio como el de la anorexia.
Okay. But my question is, like, the topic is very serious, and it was we have very sensitive approach toward anorexia, but from the beginning, I think my point of view were how parents are dealing with that kind of situation. But on the other hand, we wanted to have enough space in film for Clara's story and for Clara's situation, because there are also kind of the eating disorder issue is in our case also partly a symptom of separation that parents had before film starts. But with, as I told before, with message sequences, I was interested even, I don't see it like message sequences as itself, I don't see as, or how to say, the topic of message sequences, I don't see it as a provocation, because they are actually written in a way, I was consulting with a lot of girls and they were inspired by diaries that one of girl sent me. and she was writing that kind of notes when she was at the same age as our character Clara is. So my approach to these sequences is not like cynical, it's very empathical. I wanted to give a space which is even a bit documentary one, like where the girl with this kind of tragical situation can have. I don't know if I answer your question.
Can I just say, when you speak in the movie about something like that, that's part of the problems of life that this family have. We cannot treat that, we cannot resolve that disease or in the way that we treat it in a medical right way or something. I was fascinating for me. It's also anorexia is some kind of statement about own self and the way somebody sees the world. I was fascinating, for example, with the story of Lene Marie Fosse from Norwegian, who turned her disease in a completely statement of art and life and death and so on. So we are not dealing with this disease to try to resolve it. I don't know what is the cure for that.
Can I just refer, because Barry told me now, were you talking about dark comedy in a combination with sensitive subject of eating disorder? Yeah, because I didn't hear that before. I just don't see that film as a dark comedy. I don't know. Also, like today was the first day when we were watching the film with the audience, and there is a humor in some small ways, which for me it's kind of balancing also the different subjects that are in the film. But I wouldn't say that this is dark comedy. Or also as I'm saying, like the sequences when we see the dialogue of Clara and when she has a voiceover, they are for me very tender and very emotional. I don't see them as a dark irony.
Sí, tenemos allí otra pregunta.
Good evening, it's Alessandro Bizzotto from Paris Magazine, Italy. I'm speaking English. My question is for the director and for Barry Ward. 2 languages are spoken in this family, and first of all, I'd like to know if this was a choice made to underline or to stress a kind of emotional distance, not just a language barrier, and considering some of the most powerful moments in Barry Ward's performances are in silences, if it was something that came naturally or if you discussed it together, and if any of the other actor wants to add something to that. Thank you.
Should I say first, maybe?
Yeah.
So the one thing that was fascinated me, that we have a broken family, somehow that it's broken in languages as well. And yeah, it underlined the separation in the family as well. And they're actually speaking 3 languages, but it doesn't kind of matter. It's bilingual, multilingual family, because Barbora is from Slovakia, and they're raised in Czech Republic, and Barry is playing English man. But in terms of, I think topically wise, this broken family, broken in languages is interesting as well. And then we also realize that it's interesting when Barry in the film, it's using, like, let's say, their own language, like a Czech language. And usually there were situations where he was trying to be closer to his children because he's speaking like their mother tongue.
Yeah, and it's often very practical too. We were constantly revisiting the script and trying to find places where using Czech might work, whether it was between David and Laura or David and the kids. Also, whether or not it was possible for me to speak it, because it's a tough language. But I think Olmo did a fantastic job of weaving it in throughout the script rather seamlessly. So at all times we were really conscious of making it appear natural. And in my experience of multilingual families, people do drop in words from another language occasionally, and it all stitches together. I think also with the rehearsal of those sections, it brought the entire cast much closer together, and it was really useful for creating the family dynamic, because my early attempts at speaking Czech were hilarious.
Aprovechando esta pregunta, me gustaría que también el resto del reparto nos contara un poquito cómo fue la experiencia. Tenemos aquí a Timon, a Dexter, a Antonín y Barbora, precisamente cómo fue la interacción con Barry y cómo trabajaron todo este aspecto familiar, ¿no? No sé quién quiere empezar. Quizá Barbora. Sí.
Yeah, I start with the last line of Barry, when, I mean, we actually did quite a lot of rehearsals and readings, and we always met in Prague, because Olmo lives there, and I always arrive from Rome. Barry arrives from, because I live in Rome, Barry arrives from Ireland, and we met plenty of times just for reading and trying to find the way how to make work this so many languages in this movie. I think it was quite like a research. Sometimes I had this feeling it was like something like workshop when we were preparing this film, right? And when Barry started, first time when he started to act in Czech, I must admit that we laughed a lot. So he had to work very hardly, because yes, Czech language is really, really tough language, difficult language. So, but he made a great job, and with kids also it was very. They were very inspirations for us, and Olmo is also very creative, and so we used to change a lot also during shooting the lines. We weren't so strict on this or that line, so we were changing all the time to make it work, and it was very pleasure to work all together. No? Or you don't agree? No, you don't agree with me?
Yeah, I agree totally.
We agree.
Yes, maybe Timon, Dexter, Antonín, you can also.
Yeah, well, I'm probably the biggest outcast in the family. I'm not family. And I also, thank you, Nebojsa. I speak actually Croatian in the film. I'm from Slovenia, but I speak Croatian with a slight Dalmatian accent. And yeah, rehearsals were great. I think Olmo exceeds at telling stories with what is in between the lines, not with the lines. And also, I think he's not, to go back to the previous question, cynical about the theme of anorexia. He is cynical towards the people and how they react towards such a disease, how people react in strange situations and bizarre situations, and they don't have the words to solve them or the tools to solve them, or they're not emotionally mature yet, yeah, enough. So yeah, we were also speaking a lot in between the lines, hanging out and deepening those relations, private and in front of the camera. Thank you.
Yes, maybe Dexter could also.
Yeah. Well, for me it was interesting how we were put together from many different countries, and how during the preparation how it manifested in the ways we spoke, and then in the movie how how fluidly we changed in between those languages, which there was a lot of thought behind it. There was the language was even like part of the mind games between the children and the dad, whether they want to distance themselves from him or be on the same note. And it was interesting how in the bilingual people, how they experience the languages and how they switch in between them and to their more mother tongue when they feel in discomfort. So it was really interesting for me to experience it through my role.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Antonín, your turn.
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Just tell us about your experience with the rest of the cast.
Yeah, so it was great. I mean, it was pretty fun. We hang out when we weren't shooting, and yeah, so.
Okay.
But it was great, really. I really enjoy working with all you guys.
If you don't want to talk, you can just do the scene in the bed and you can just push here on the table.
Actually, because Dex and Tonda, they didn't have much experience. They are totally newcomers in these are actually your both first bigger movie roles. So that's why we have a kind of interesting precise rehearsals before, but for a long time we weren't actually even rehearsing the screenplay, but we were talking about the topics, and we were actually improvising a lot about the situations that are kind of were happening in the family, let's say before the film starts, or are connected with the whole story of the film, but are not in the screenplay, because we didn't want to rehearse like half a year only lines of the film, but we were more trying to connect with the characters.
Tenemos aquí otra pregunta.
That's me again. You mentioned before, or just right now, that there is a movie with a lot of countries involved in terms of the actors. I want to ask, from a production point of view, how was the selection of the different sites, different places that we can see? Because we can see, I think, different countries, different places. At the beginning of the film, we can see those beaches. Then we have the hospital, even their home, the house when the father leaves without the rest of the family. How was the process to select those kind of scenarios?
So we knew that the film will be, that the first part of the story will be happening in Croatia. I know this kind of camps from my childhood a lot. But the biggest challenge for me and Kryštof, DOP, was because there is a big tonal shift in the film, in the middle of the film. And we started at beautiful landscape and atmospherical locations in Croatia, and then we shift to kind of like hospital, kind of a darker tonal mood or tone. But what was important for us was that there shouldn't be a genre change. It shouldn't be, like the first part shouldn't be a family film or family drama, and the second part like a social drama or something like that. So we were a lot of concentrating in like storytelling through atmospheres, but atmospheres which are kind of, let's say, inner landscape of characters. They should be always connected with characters. There are not only atmospheres that are kind of in the middle or at the end of one scene and at the beginning of another scene, but they should be kind of characterizing the characters. For example, like as Barry, we see Barry for the first time in his apartment, and we realize that actually there is like the whole neighborhood, it's in the reconstruction, so that has kind of a connection with his character. And we tried to find as much as possible that kind of scenes in the second part of the film, because in the first part of the film it wasn't a problem, we had them a lot. And to pace the whole film as a coherent, stylistically coherent genre film.
We have Kryštof here, the OP. Maybe also you can share your experience.
Kryštof, what do you think?
I think that was the most beautiful, but also the most challenging thing on this project, to connect those two words, to not make two completely separate films, like visually. So we even tried to repeat some like composition principles or like camera moves principles through the both parts. I really like this about the project.
Okay, thank you. Tenemos tiempo para una última pregunta, si alguien quiere hacer. Bueno, tenemos también aquí a Jiri, que es el productor de la película. Also, maybe you can tell us about... sí, quizás podría también contarnos un poquito cómo se vio envuelto en el proyecto y qué es lo que más le interesó de él.
So, hello everybody. We did all the films together, so it's also for me, it's the 10th anniversary of coming here to San Sebastian. And for us, it was amazing here back then, and the family film was traveling a lot, and it was a beautiful start. And for me, we always tried somehow to develop the films together with Olmo, the topics, and somehow find the right tone and right topic to move on or to do the next film. This one is the 5th, and we also did 2 short films in between. So this is very relevant for me because I'm also much into the family topics and scenarios and troubles or the positives of family life, and I think that it's a big work to make a family functioning. And here I think that there was this topic of anorexia, but there can be other troubles because all the kids are somehow suffering from something. And always there is some easy solutions, and there are some more, how to put it, thorough solutions, complicated solutions, because the easy solutions in my eyes or in my opinion doesn't exist. You cannot have easy solutions. And I would not say dark comedy, or I would not say that is without humor at all, but there is this feeling of awkwardness for me, the feeling of like you are present to something you would not wish to be present at, but it is happening. And for me, this, I can hardly imagine that I could do this to my own kids, but at the same time, I have to imagine that it would be possible, and this is the tension in the film.
Thank you very much. Bien, si no hay alguna pregunta más, ¿alguien quiere nada más? Bueno, en ese caso nos vamos a poner término a esta rueda de prensa. Les damos las gracias a todos por habernos acompañado hoy aquí, por haber venido a San Sebastián con la película y sencillamente desearles muchísima suerte con la carrera de la película en el futuro después de la premier mundial aquí en San Sebastián. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much.